Hi everyone. This week we are studying Chinese poetry. We've had some really labor-intensive reading assignments this semester so far. So I hope that you'll like this assignment. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to get through. I know a lot of people commented on how difficult it was to get through some of the Oedipus story. So hopefully this week will be much better and that you'll actually enjoy some of this. We're talking poetry, and let's get started. As you read these poems this week, I want you to keep some things in mind. Look for these key themes: nature, agriculture, which basically go hand in hand, nature, agriculture, politics, gender, zing, and religion. And zing is behavior or conduct. So kind of keep those things in mind as you're reading this week. Also, I'd like to point out symbolism isn't always cut and dry. A lot of times, if I were to say it was a dark and stormy night, we know that stormy is generally associated with some sort of impending doom, and nighttime can also be seen as a bad thing. So that would create this symbolic foreshadowing almost of something bad about to happen. But in poetry, you seem to have the option for a little more creativity. These things don't have to be so starkly related. And one of these examples is found that I'd like to mention to you is in Peach Tree Soft and Tender and Plums Are Falling. Through there, we know that Peach Tree Soft and Tender is in summer because the leaves are full and the fruit is juicy, so it's ripe. And in Plums Are Falling, we know they're talking about autumn. So the way they repeat this throughout the poems, however, indicates this repetitive nature of the seasons and of the agrarian cycle. You don't plant year-round, you plant certain things at certain times. People who have green thumbs know way more about that than I do, but it's cyclical. And so these poems, through that repetition, symbolize this agrarian cycle. They can also, through that same repetition, symbolize religion, because religion is based upon ritual. And so, whether we're looking at today's rituals of maybe going to church every, Wednesday and Sunday, that's ritual, or if it's making a donation at a certain part of the service, that's also ritual. So in that way, repetition can symbolize more than just one thing. Confucius indicated that poetry should be didactic. That means that it should have a meaning, it should be valuable, it should teach a moral, or it should be at least morally satisfying. So as you read classic poetry, look to see if these fit that mold. Are they allegorical? Are they teaching a political lesson or raising a political question? Are they religious in nature? The interesting thing about poetry, and any reading actually that we do, is that each reader brings into it their own perspective. They bring into it their own cultures, their own experiences, their own preconceived notions, and hopefully open-mindedness about experiences that haven't happened yet, that you can kind of imagine the situations or whatever. So like in Fishhawk, people see that a couple of different ways. Some people look at Fishhawk and say that it's praising a woman who handled the situation of her husband finding a new love very well, that her conduct was approved. And then other people, though, will see that as a comment against political tyranny. In that kind of interpretation, what they're looking at is the watercress. So the watercress is being gathered, and it's because of this voracious appetite for watercress. So the watercress is here, the watercress grows here and there, right and left, we gather it. So that's what a tyrant would do, right? A tyrant would get everything that they could from wherever they could. And still another interpretation of that, some people see that the watercress represents the maiden, gentle maiden, pure and fair, wanted, walking, and asleep. So we have, actually, let's go over that section again. Watercress grows here and there, right and left we gather it. Gentle maiden, pure and fair, wanted, walking, and asleep. So the watercress, it's wanted. People want that. They want it badly. They're gathering it from everywhere that they can get it. And it's the same with the maiden, because she's pure and fair. Everyone wants her. They want her when she's awake. They want her when she's asleep. Everyone just can't get enough of this maiden. So you can see there's so many different ways to interpret poetry. And that's why I'm looking forward to reading your discussions this week. You guys have done a great job all semester long with your discussions. I'm really proud of your work there. So I hope you'll have fun with this poetry and enjoy reading something a little bit lighter this week.